Viewers and subscribers, welcome to Beating the Press podcast. Today, we are going to be previewing two of the big fixtures coming up over the weekend. We have two derby games. First, on Saturday, we have West Ham versus Chelsea in the West London derby. And on Monday, we have Liverpool facing off with a resurgent Everton in the Merseyside derby. I am your host, Rafa. And joining me today to preview these two matches, we have Sugar Belly.
Greetings, viewers and subscribers.
Well, it has been an exciting EPL season thus far, and the excitement continues on the weekend. So we're going to start this preview by looking at the West Ham versus Chelsea fixture. Sugar Belly, what are your thoughts on these two teams coming into this fixture?
Well, West Ham Chelsea are a big London derby at the West Ham Stadium. Both teams, I think, coming into this fixture and contrasting form, West Ham having only lost one of their last 5 matches and Chelsea winning only one of their last 5. So, very interesting game coming up here. West Ham, in the relegation zone, 18. So 3 points at stake for them. Big match coming up.
Yes, definitely. I definitely would agree with you on that this should be a very exciting and competitive match. It's a derby match, and in derby matches, form tend to go through the window. Chelsea, a few players coming back from injury. It should be a very interesting lineup that we see Potter putting out. It will be somewhat unpredictable in that we are yet to see a full complement of players being available for selection. West Ham, on the other hand, they seem to have a settled starting 11 with a few changes here or there. But form, both teams not flying at the moment. So it should be quite an exciting encounter. West Ham being at home in front of their fans. Moyes' job possibly in the mix as well, depending on results and how the other matches factor into this week. Anything can happen. Anything can definitely happen. But in terms of team selection, Sugar Belly, what are you expecting from both a Chelsea as well as a West Ham point of view?
Well, from a Chelsea point of view, as you mentioned a few seconds ago, we have a wealth of players now returning from injury. I think the latest was that Mateo Kovacic has returned to training, and Denis Zakaria as well, both midfielders, both very formed key roles in our midfield throughout this season. So it's very interesting to see how Potter reintegrate them into this setup with the new transfers. Also, Joao Felix returning from the suspension as well. So there are a lot of changes there to be made by Potter searching for another 3 points. We know Potter also, not because he's away from the relegation zone, with the performances of Chelsea, is still facing the heat, so he will want to get a result as well. And for West Ham, really, it's about consistency right now, staying steady, getting their points, and moving out of the relegation zone. So I expect Moyes to go with his tested and proven 11, as you said as well. So no, I don't expect any surprises there for West Ham in the starting lineup, but for Chelsea, on the other hand, it's very hard to tell.
Yeah, what I find fascinating about these teams is that both these teams seem to have difficulties in front of goal, putting the ball in the back of the net. We see where West Ham went out and got the services of Danny Ings from Aston Villa, and we see Chelsea pretty much spreading their checkbooks in the transfer market to bring in both a lot of attacking or attack-minded players to try and stem that flow of goals and increase that output. So that is the fascinating thing about this fixture for me, is that goal scoring for both teams seem to be an issue at the moment. Chelsea still probably searching for that tried and tested number nine. Havertz has its ups and downs during the course of the season, and we all know the story of Aubameyang, nowhere to be found. So that number nine position for Chelsea, good build-up play, I would say. Good build-up from the defense to the midfield. But it's like once they get into that attacking third, they have difficulty breaking down teams, especially those which tend to set up in a more defensive mold, as is the case with Moyes. Moyes usually has his West Ham team well organized, well disciplined, and in their defensive shape. So while West Ham doesn't score a lot of goals, neither do they concede a lot. So it will be interesting to see if any goals can be found in this game. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing how this tactical battle pretty much plays out.
Well, from a tactical perspective, still, I think that I don't think Moyes can afford to come and sit back on Saturday. I think he will come playing at home. Definitely, I think West Ham will try to come out and grab Chelsea on the counter, as most of these teams try to do.
Mm.
So um, next
Well, from how do you think the game will play out though? What do you think will be the approach from both managers in terms of gameplay? You mentioned that you're not necessarily expecting West Ham to sit back, Usually when a team plays in front of their home crowd, especially in a derby game, both teams tend to go at it. But I mean, with both teams being out of form, you would want to think that some caution may be exercised from the weaker team, which on paper, West Ham seem to be the weaker team. So are you expecting Chelsea to take the game to West Ham?
Yes, definitely. I expect Chelsea to definitely take the game to West Ham. Another thing is that I was trying to mention this earlier. I seem to have slipped me, but one thing I was mentioning was that the new striker Chelsea signed, the 20-year-old David Fofana. Um, we've seen where Havertz has been leading the line. However, personally, I was impressed with the cameo that Fofana had in the last game. So from a personal perspective, I'd like to see how he looks in the number nine spot, in as opposed to a Kai Havertz who has been a bit. I can't even find the verb to describe him, but he has been a bit poor lately. That's poor sums it up for me because he gets some chances. I don't know how he fails to convert them. So I'd
Mm,
really love to see some changes up front from a
uh,
personal point.
well, who to tell? Potter may very well, dig into his magic hat and pull some tricks. Yeah, you do raise a very good point there in terms of the fact is Potter do have options to select from. So even though Chelsea has a number of players still out injured, the choice of selection from the new signings is definitely will be interesting. And as you mentioned, who starts, who plays where, I believe Potter is still trying to find his best 11. So with so many new players, new faces, injuries, players maybe out of form, those coming back, it's really a mix and match from week to week since the window closed. So I am looking to see what he will put out as his starting 11 and see if that starting 11 can actually start scoring some goals. Because without goals, you can't win games. And right now, Chelsea is in need of points, and also West Ham is in need of points. So you might very well find that both teams go at it, especially in front of their home fans. West Ham may very well be forced to take the game to Chelsea from that point of view. But in terms of your score prediction, what do you think the outcome of this one will be?
Well, seeing that I expect it to be an end-to-end game, my score prediction is a 2-1 victory for Chelsea, seeing that Chelsea also hasn't lost in their last two games against West Ham. So I expect Chelsea to continue this current form against West Ham.
So
Definitely.
so 2-1 you're saying.
Yes, bro.
For me, I'm gonna go with Chelsea's favorite score of late. 0-0. I am gonna expect both teams to cancel each other out and end in a goalless draw. That has been the scoreline for Chelsea over the last two matches,
Either two or three, yes.
2 or 3 matches. I definitely know that they went 0-0 last week. Uh, West Ham also drew last week with Newcastle 1-1. So for me, I'm expecting another draw. I just believe both teams have a lot to play for, have a lot to lose. I think it's going to be a tactical battle between the two managers. So as a result, I think both teams will just cancel each other out and maybe play out a 0-0 draw. An exciting 0-0 draw is a possibility. So that's what I'm thinking for this one. But just to pivot a bit, on Monday, we have the Merseyside derby coming up. Liverpool versus Everton. What are your thoughts on these two teams entering this game?
Well, definitely, we saw last weekend where Liverpool were trashed by a Wolverhampton team who were fighting for their lives. And now this week they face a Everton team who trashed an Arsenal team and is currently fighting for their lives as well. So I expect it to be a fiery atmosphere, seeing that it's the Merseyside derby. So a tense battle there coming up, especially seeing that Everton now seems to feel that they're on the up
Mm.
and Liverpool seemingly down. I think Everton will be hoping to for some fortune coming up against Liverpool again. So I expect it to be a brilliant match to the end, definitely.
Yes, yes, this one is definitely a hard one to call, to be honest with you. Big derby, big rivalry. Both teams have a rich history, a rich tradition of facing each other in this Merseyside derby. And the game is being played at Anfield. The Anfield crowd is usually an honest one. Liverpool definitely out of form since the start of the year. I believe from a points point of view, they are the poorest team in the EPL since the year started. They have only amassed 1 point since 2023. Even Everton have amassed more points because with the Everton victory last week over Arsenal, Everton has amassed 3 points and Liverpool is still on 1 point for the entire year. So Liverpool is certainly out of form. They have been playing poorly, and the ship hasn't left the shipyard as yet. For Everton, Everton is on the resurgence. We saw the impact of Sean Dyche coming in. I believe they should be full of confidence right now. They are hearing a new coach that has rejuvenated them, revitalized them. Against Arsenal, they look strong in the midfield. They look very organized, very competitive, full of energy, full of running. I think they will come ready for this game. Right now, Everton is everything Liverpool once was. They are pressing high. They are doing everything the manager is asking for at the moment. While on the other hand, Liverpool is just poor. Simple word. It has just been a poor season overall and a poor 2023 thus far. So it's gonna be an exciting game, naturally, with the atmosphere of Anfield. The fans should be bouncing. But for me, it's very hard to call. I am definitely looking forward to this one because it's Deutsch versus Klopp. It's tactics against tactics. You know, it's a derby game. So I'm up for it, and I'm sure the fans will be up for it as well. But Sugar Belly, in terms of team selection, tactics, formations, how do you see this one on for either team?
Well, going into this game, I'm not sure what Jurgen Klopp would have up his sleeve. I think he's feeling the pressure right now as well in terms of not getting the results. So I don't know how the motivation is in the Liverpool camp, whether or not he will seek to change certain players. On the Everton perspective now, definitely, I think Sean Dyche coming in with new coach, new ideas. I think he will come and try to exploit these weak areas that we have been seeing popping up in the Liverpool team since the turn of the year. So that's where I think Everton will come and try to exploit. Um, Definitely the right back area. Defensively, Liverpool have been a bit suspect, so I expect once again Everton to try to threaten with long balls. We saw last week also where they have developed this pressing game. So not only are they playing a bit more dynamic, but they are high up, playing like the big teams, basically, you could say now. So I expect them to come and try to match Liverpool in any way or shape that they can and try to get all 3 points, definitely.
Yes, I could not agree with you more. It has been a very resurgent Everton team, you know. Liverpool, on the other hand, in terms of tactics, team formation, pretty much injuries have plagued the team somewhat, to be honest. A few players are now beginning to come back into training. Will they be fit enough for this fixture is unclear. So I expect the usual back four. Trent at right back, Matip, Gomez, Robertson along with Alisson in the goal. The midfield three, as well as the strikers, maybe where you may see changes taking place. But you would expect the likes of a Salah, Nunes, Gagpo to start. In the midfield, Fabinho was out with some form of illness. So the midfield three, to me, is where this game will be won or lost for Liverpool. If Klopp can find the right combination to match the organization, that intensity, that workhorse mentality of the Everton tree as we saw against Arsenal, then talent of Liverpool may get the job done. But a good coach of mine once said, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And right now, Everton is working hard.
Yes, sir.
Liverpool has the talent, but we're not seeing much work from Liverpool. While Everton may have less talent on paper, but if we are to use the Arsenal game as the benchmark, I am looking forward to see how Everton match that Liverpool intensity or lack thereof. I'm expecting Everton to really come out very intense. I'm expecting a similar game plan to the one implemented against Arsenal. If I was Sean
Definitely.
Dyche, I would definitely not make many changes, if any changes at all, to the team. Once all the players are fit, I would say, hey guys, let's go back out there. Wash, rinse, repeat. Let's do to Liverpool what we did to Arsenal. So for me, it's gonna be a mammoth battle in that midfield. Right now, I think the Everton three in the middle, Onana, Magai, Dakore, is looking very organized. They're looking like a well-oiled machine. While Liverpool midfield is all over the place. We don't know if they're coming or going. Not only is Liverpool leaking goals, but they're having difficulty finding the back of the net as well. We see the likes of Nunes getting chances but failing to convert over and over. He has one of the lowest XGs, or one of the lowest goal conversion rates, where chances are being created, but he's failing to take these chances. Granted, he still has contributed, I believe, thus far, 12 goal contributions over all competitions thus far this season for Liverpool. But with the quality of the chances he's getting, he should be putting more goals away. And as a result, the team comes under pressure And it seems as if most games is just a matter of time whether the opposition team will score. Clean sheet is very hard to come by these days, you know?
Yes, definitely. And also I believe that this attacking era is one of the areas in which I think Klopp has actually failed to maintain in this Liverpool team where he sold Mane, Nunes came in. Um, we haven't seen the best of Nunes yet,
Mm.
but coupled with that also we have seen a dip in form from Mo Salah. So it begs to question what's going on there. You know, we also see where new signing Gakpo has also coming and is finding it very difficult to find the back of the net. So it's an area that club this is definitely needs to address right now.
Yes, for sure. The entire team is not playing well. It's playing for all to see. You know, the levels have dropped. You know, the Liverpool of old is not the Liverpool of this season. You know, a lot has gone wrong. So it's up to Klopp to find some solutions. You know, rumors are swirling that his job may soon start feeling the pressure. You know, opposition fans are singing, "You're getting sacked in the morning." So, you know, result is required. A
Yes, sir.
result this weekend for Liverpool is definitely required. They're sitting in mid-table mediocrity currently. And Everton is staving off relegation as well. So Everton too needs a result, you know. The approach has to be from Liverpool to get all 3 points. And the approach from Everton must be not to lose, you know, go to Anfield and get something, get a win if possible, but a draw at very minimum. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this one plays out. But in terms of gameplay and score prediction, Sugar Belly, how do you see this one playing out in terms of gameplay, and how do you see it ending in terms of a final scoreline?
Well, with regards to the gameplay, seeing that it's a derby game, I expect both teams to kick it out of the blocks from early, go at it with each other. Um, Maybe we'll see where Everton can try and come into this game. Maybe Liverpool might start a bit slow, so I expect Everton definitely to come guns blazing after this Arsenal performance. Definitely, I think that performance alone might have been the turning point in their season where they now feel within themselves that they can come out and play the football that they need to play to win these games or even not to lose, as you say. So that's what I expect. I don't expect Liverpool with the form they are in currently to have much control over proceedings. I think from a Liverpool perspective, the best are what, well, we could say now that we don't want Liverpool to come and put in a performance where the fans will be displeased. So also we have to think about that. So it's hard to tell, but I think Everton, my mind tells me that Everton is coming this week again for the jugular. So my prediction is definitely a Everton to win 1-0.
Everton to win 1-0. I won't. It's hard to disagree with you somewhat, you know, based on the points you raise. The fact is, Liverpool is out of form. It's a rejuvenated Everton. All season, we're looking for Liverpool to return to that high intensity game, but game after game, game after game, they continue to disappoint. I'm not sure what's going on in the camp, but it's not the Liverpool we're used to. You know, it's definitely not the Liverpool we're used to. So I am hoping this week that the Anfield crowd, Merseyside derby, big game, big 3 points up for grabs. I'm hoping they can bring some energy. And if they don't bring the energy, I'm hoping that the fans will push them to bring that energy. On the other side, Everton is a completely changed team. again, we constantly reference that Arsenal performance, but it was such a tantalizing performance that it's hard to look beyond it. It was Sean Dyche's first game, the new coach bounce, and I do believe and I do agree with you that that new coach bounce, that confidence, that momentum that Everton has, they're gonna take it into this game, and I am expecting Everton not to lose this game. So much like you, I won't give a specific score, but I'm expecting Everton not to lose. I can't see Liverpool getting anything from this game. Maximum maybe a draw. But if Everton brings that same energy, they're going to outrun Liverpool. They're going to outwork Liverpool. And I believe eventually the Anfield crowd is going to turn and Everton is either going to leave Anfield with 3 points or leave with a draw. But I don't believe they will leave Anfield empty-handed. So it's going to be fascinating. I watch. It's going to be a big game, nationally televised, standalone game come Monday afternoon. It will be there for us to see.
Yes, man.
Any final thoughts?
Uh, well, going into this game, as you say, it was very interesting if this the Anfield crowd can really spur on the home team because they really need it. I think the Wolves game last week really summed up how Liverpool season in terms of how they were dominated, played off the park.
Mm,
You know, even in the last seconds, in the last few minutes of the game, I don't think Liverpool got a touch of the ball. So
Barcelona
it
X
could, yes,
possession.
I think that was very damaging to their confidence last week. So it will be interesting to see how the Liverpool team, as a big side, can respond to this.
Yes, and it's definitely a test for Klopp as well. I mean, this is the first time I believe since he has been at Liverpool that he is feeling the pressure of results currently. So it will be interesting to see how he adjusts his tactics, his team selection, and definitely how the team responds after, as you say, such an embarrassing last week to Wolves. As you said, they were played off the pitch. Uh, so it's gonna be fascinating. It's gonna be quite fascinating. But we'll be here to see it, and we'll be here to review it as well. So that brings us to the end of the podcast. I just want to thank our viewers and subscribers for sticking with us throughout. Just gonna ask you to continue to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I just like to also thank Sugar Belly for coming through and sharing his profound thoughts with us. Until next time, this is Rafa signing off.